It's New York's oldest museum, a vast collection offering a peek into almost every corner of our past. Featuring great works like Tiffany's lamps and Audubon's watercolors. Precious historic documents, including Grant's letter to Lee arranging for the surrender at Appomattox. And whimsical items like old beer ads and an 80s pop masterpiece.
Today's news is tomorrow's history.
After teetering on the brink of bankruptcy, it has transformed itself with a new face and a new vision.
There is no other institution really that takes as seriously as we do the mission of bringing American history to the broadest possible public.
The New York Historical Society, a treasure of New York. Treasures of New York, the New York Historical Society, is made possible by Bernard and Irene Schwartz, the Cheryl and Philip Milstein family, and the Metropolitan Media Fund. And now, from the New York Historical Society, John Meacham.
The great New Yorker Arthur Schlesinger Jr. once noted that history is to a nation as memory is to a person, the defining element that enables us to know where we've been and perhaps glimpse where we're headed. The New York Historical Society is a living monument to the principle that the past is worth preserving with the same passion and the same care with which we live in the present and with which we contemplate the future. In my own work in the field of American history, I've drawn on manuscripts kept here on Central Park West, reaching back into the crises and challenges of days gone by to see what we might learn about the crises and challenges of our own time. For history matters, a point never lost on those charged with carrying on the mission of this place. For more than 2 centuries, the New York Historical Society has collected and protected history. Part museum, part library, it houses a vast collection of works of art, artifacts, books, manuscripts, maps, photographs, and much more. It all began more modestly in 1804, when wealthy merchant John Pintard gathered a group of prominent citizens at the office of New York Mayor DeWitt Clinton in Old City Hall on Wall Street.
All of them had lived through the Revolutionary War, and what's truly amazing is that each and every one of them had already a historical consciousness about the importance of their period. Now that seems really obvious to us, but it would not have seemed obvious to anyone at the time. They had no idea. Was the nation going to work? Was it going to be fragile? Would it break apart?
They were witness to what was going to be, or they at least thought would be, one of the most important experiments in the history of the world. And they were being handed down documents, letters, paintings. What do you do with them? They, in their wisdom, and inspired wisdom, came together and said, we in effect have to collect them. We have to organize them. We have to maintain them.
The New York Historical Society was born. Its mission? To collect and preserve whatever may relate to the natural, civil, or ecclesiastical history of the United States in general, and of this state in particular.
Our collection is very much an American history collection, but all of our collection is here because of some connection to New York.
The gateway to the history of this country is really New York. Not in every year, not in every decade, but New York has been one of the greatest cities in the world and has been the center for the American story.
Coming in through Central Park West, through the doors there, we're going to see a reimagined, opened up space to reveal our collections in a very different way.
It wasn't just the building that needed extensive work. The dozens of objects for the new gallery had to be prepared and installed too, including the first object visitors would see, Liberté, Liberté, by artist Fred Wilson.
We are trying to show that there's a backstory to everything, to every historical story.
Other objects that needed special work were sent to outside experts, like the enormous painting Return of the 69th Irish Regiment from the Seat of War by Louis Lang, an 11 by 7 foot canvas depicting the New York militia's return from the First Battle of Bull Run in 1861. Donated to the Historical Society by the artist in 1886. It was discovered in storage almost 100 years later, in complete shreds. Museum director Linda Ferber made it her mission to restore the painting to its original grandeur.
It's a big, popular picture, and it's a perfect amalgam of art and history, and it seemed perfect to announce our new phase.
Ferber sent the painting to the Williamstown Art Conservation Center in Massachusetts for a year of restoration work. But there was another problem. The painting's enormous frame had somehow disappeared.
And you would think a frame like this would be hard to lose, but it became apparent that it was gone.
Ferber found a single stereoscopic photo in the Society's archives showing the painting in its original frame, barely visible in the corner, which she took to the workshop of Eli Wilner Company in Long Island City, Queens, a company specializing in recreating period frames.
There are a lot of philosophies out there in the framing world. The way we see it, the way I see it from day one, is that you try to recreate what the artist would have done. The frame becomes a time capsule. It's a setting. It's the theatrical stage for the event, which is the painting.
Wilner's team of artisans worked an estimated 1,000 hours to recreate the giant frame, which measured 10 by 14 feet. Made of African mahogany, it weighed in at 750 pounds, one of the largest the workshop ever built.
It's magnificent. This is a great moment.
Winston Churchill, whose mother was a New Yorker, once wrote that the future is unknowable, but the past should give us hope. At its best, history nourishes our creativity and offers us wise caution. It inspires and warns, and above all, teaches. The work that unfolds at the New York Historical Society could not be more urgent or important. For history, to borrow Horace's definition of poetry, delights and instructs. Such is the prevailing ethos here, a place where history, like New York itself, is neither dusty nor dry, but alive, vibrant, crucial. And so the story goes on.